Hi everybody, Miss Amanda here. I am here to finish reading the book that we were reading together in our Middle Ages class, The Apple and the Arrow. So all we have left is the very last chapter of this book. Unfortunately, we weren't able to finish it in the class, so I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get this to you guys. I'm finally doing it. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the beautiful scenery behind me. I figured it was appropriate for our story, okay? All right, guys. The last chapter is called The Dawn. "What a good lad you have been today, Walter," said Hedwig Tell. "You have kept the water pail full of water. You have carried in the wood, and the fire has always been blazing." Hedwig Tell was weaving linen on the loom. She continued, "And not once today, son, have I heard you quarreling with Rudy. You are both growing up." Her words of praise made Walter a little uncomfortable. He had tried to be helpful all day, but yet he had a special reason for doing so. He wanted to go help Hawk Alp that night. This was the last day of the year, 1290. With the dawn of the new year, perhaps 3 brave little cantons would free themselves of Austrian tyranny. He wanted to be there. Walter leaned on the loom and watched the shuttle dart back and forth. Then he said, "Mother, ever since Father and Grandfather left yesterday for the town, Rudy and I have been playing we were grown-up men and tried to take their places." "Oh, so that is it," smiled his mother. She leaned over and felt playfully of Walter's shoulder blade. "What? Do I feel angel's wings sprouting from your shoulders, my son?" Walter grinned. He loved his mother to joke with him. Then she began to weave again. The shuttle made a homely rhythm that Walter loved, so it flew across the warp. After a long silence, the boy said, "Mother, please stop weaving for a moment. I want to ask you something." His eyes were shining and he was eager and anxious. His mother laid down the shuttle and waited for him to speak. Rudy was playing on the floor with a toy cow his father had carved for him. Suddenly, Walter burst out, "Mother, I'm 11 years old and soon will be 12. You know what's happening tonight on Hawk Alp? Yeah, Hawk Alp. Sorry, guys. The signal fires. Mother, can't I go up on Hawk Alp at midnight? Please, please, Mother." Rudy bounded up from the floor and asked eagerly, "Can't I go along? Mother, can't I go with Walter?" Rudy had the keenest ears for things he was not supposed to hear. "You'll freeze up there, Rudy. It's cold at midnight, you know," warned his brother. "Oh, I'll not freeze a bit. I'll put on that bear coat that's so warm and my fur mittens. I'll not freeze, will I, Mother?" "Quiet, children. Don't tease," she scolded. She laid her shuttle down and gazed through the window as if she were looking at something far, far away. The boys stared at her silently, and after a long pause she said, "Yes, you may both of you go. But if I let you go, Walter, you must take good care of Rudy. Don't let him get lost or chilled, will you?" "No, I won't, Mother. I promise. Marie will be there too, and we will both take care of Rudy. If you'll only let me go." "Yes, son, you may go. There may never again be in your lifetime another night like this one in the land of Uri. It will be a night I want you to remember when you are old. I want you to know while you are young, my son, the brave men will risk all they have for a belief. Now let us eat, and when it grows late, put on your bearskin caps and woolen socks. It will be bitterly cold at midnight on Hawk Alp." Several hours later, the Tell boys climbed the trail through darkness and snow, wrapped in bear fur coats. Prinz barked at their heels. When Walter and Rudy reached Hawk Alp, they were puffing and panting, for the trail was steep. Many mountain folk stood about a huge pile of logs, hugging themselves to keep warm. They were all very quiet. The dark forest rose about them. The night was crystal clear with the stars like diamonds. Walter found Marie and her grandfather together. The children chased each other and threw snowballs, and so were warm. Suddenly, Walter noticed Klaus, the hermit, standing near. As the boy stopped and stared at him, Klaus knelt in the snow and raised his hands to the sky. Soon all of the herders were kneeling in the snow, even the children. There was a long, long silence as they waited. And then Klaus prayed, "Dear Lord, Father of all men, look down upon us this great night. Be with us when the bell rings, when the signal fire burns. Help us throw from our shoulders the yoke of tyrant. But good Lord, let no blood flow this night in the land of Uri. Even in this, our greatest hour, help us to remember that all men, even evil men, are our brothers. Keep our hearts pure, our arms strong, for the Virgin's sake. Amen." A deep chorus of amen rose to the heaven, and then Walter heard a sound he had always loved, the deep notes of the great Alp horn. It was slow, sad melody, rose and fell, echoing from the mountain peaks, growing ever fainter and fainter. Someone played a flute. As the two melodies joined, Walter heard the tolling of distant bells. From far off they came, from valleys below, the bells of Berglin, of Altdorf, of distant Bruin, tolling, tolling, deep and sad, joined with the lovely sounds of Alphorn and flute. "Rudy, listen, it's midnight now. Listen to the bells and the flute and the Alphorn." Walter held his brother tightly by the hand. "Look, Rudy, they're going to light the fires now, look." As the boys watched, little flames like orange flowers blossomed at the base of the woodpile. The flames grew larger. Then all at once, a red tongue of fire roared up into the dark sky. The children ran from the fire and held their hands before their faces. "Look, Marie, look, Rudy, at the other fires," shouted Walter. All about them on the highest mountain meadows danced fires, here, there, and everywhere. "Are they going to burn down the mountains?" asked Rudy, frightened of the many fires he saw all about him. "Of course not, Rudy. Don't be scared. The mountains can't burn down. They're wet with ice and snow," soothed Walter. Now began singing. To the sounds of the flute, the deep Alphorn, and the distant bells, the people held their hands and marched slowly around the fire. They sang an ancient song. It seemed to Walter as he listened that it was a song such as patriots might sing as they carried upon their shoulders the body of some dead hero. He felt a great joy within him. His throat felt tightened and tears were on his cheeks. Only the tears were those of happiness. For that moment, Walter Tell, a simple mountain lad, seemed to know why 33 men had met on that mountain meadow and had sworn an oath to fight and to die together. Here's the picture. Hold on, guys. Unfortunately, guys, sorry. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. If I go like that, you can see it. Due to my background, you couldn't really see it. There you go. All right. Oh, and here's, if I got to get it just right. There we go. You guys can see that. Just about finished, guys. Why his own father had stood so fearlessly before Gessler that autumn day in Altdorf. Why he himself had such faith in his father that he was not afraid of anything, even dying. Now he knew why his mother had wished him to be on the Alp that night of nights. He felt this only dimly, but he felt it nevertheless. He knew what the wise had always known, that man lives by faith, and that faith can be stronger than fear. He marched and he sang with the others, and his heart was so full to bursting. And the bells tolled, and the fires blazed, and the stars looked down, and he forgot all about Rudy. He was so carried away by the beauty of the solemnity of the glorious night. Then someone shouted, "Look, down in the valley, look!" And so they looked. A sudden flame arose from the dark hills. Walter heard heavy sounds as if giant blacksmiths were hitting an anvil with great hammer blows. "The castle of Zwinguri is afire," called one. The castle of Zwing-Uri is falling. Gessler's castle has been captured. At the word Gessler, the people stopped marching. The flute and the alphorn ceased. Then, as if led by a conductor, the people burst suddenly into a song again, a song of joy and triumph and liberation. The mountain folk clung to one another as they sang. Some danced as though they had wings upon their feet. The wind was bitter, the snow icy, yet Walter Tell felt neither tired nor cold. He ran and he danced with the others, uplifted by the beauty of the music and the wonder of this night. The fires dimmed, but on and on the herdsmen danced and sang. The sky in the east lightened with the promise of day. Then Walter felt Marie tugging on her fur cape. "Walter, where is Rudy? I haven't seen him for a long time." "Oh, Marie, I forgot him. He was here a little while ago. The music was so beautiful, and the dancing, I guess I just forgot. And I promised Mother to watch him, too. Let's look for him. He may be asleep somewhere." The two children left the crowd and began to search for the little boy. They could not find him. Then Walter whistled a call that Prinz knew. The herd dog came bounding to him from a hole in the big pine tree. "There he is, over there," shouted Marie, "in that tree. See, Walter?" And there lay Rudy, snuggled like a little squirrel in the hole of a tree, with Prinz for a pillow, and he had kept him warm through the night. "Rudy, Rudy, wake up, boy, you'll freeze," shouted Walter, shaking his brother. "Where am I?" wailed the little boy. "I'm cold. Where am I?" "Oh, Hawk Alp, Rudy, and this is the new year. Come, we must go home and get in a warm bed." Taking his brother by the hand, Walter half carried and half dragged Rudy down the slippery trail. The fire faded on the mountaintops. The noise of falling timber ceased. The alphorn stopped its sad music. So did the tender little flute. The people began to wander to their homes, and soon came dawn, the dawn of the year 1291. Switzerland was born. The next day, when Walter Tell and grandfather came home, they told the Tell family of their adventures at Altdorf. They said that the bailiffs and the knights had fled the land. The castle of Zwing-Uri was now but a pile of black ashes. They heard the castle of Underwalden was burned to the ground too. The tyrants had run away, and so Uri Slij, gosh, that's a hard name, guys, and Underwalden were free at last. Yet in all the turmoil, few people had died and little blood had been shed. And so began the little country of Switzerland. As years, decades, and centuries passed, other cantons joined with the three. Today, 22 cantons form the Swiss Republic, which we know. As years passed, William Tell became an old man with a white beard. He could no longer climb the mountains to hunt for the camas and the deer, for his eyes were not so keen as they had been once. He lived in the same hut where he had always lived. Whenever he went to Berglin or Altdorf, the people doffed their hats to him as he walked the cobblestone streets or sat in the inn. The people of his canton knew well that they owed a part of their freedom to brave William Tell and his son Walter. Walter Tell grew to be a large man like his father, with great brown arms and a dark beard. He too became skilled with a crossbow. He became a hunter of camas and deer, like his father, and he knew the best places to find the game in the alpine forests. When the time came to marry, he chose Marie as his bride. Sorry, guys, hold on. Okay. And as the years passed, 2 sons and daughters were born to them. He named the oldest William after his own father. On cold winter evenings, when the hours passed slowly, Walter and Marie would gather their children around them and tell them stories of the days when they were young. Often the children asked for the story of Gessler and their grandfather and father. For were there not their very own father and grandfather now heroes in Switzerland? Sometimes Walter would relate the story of how those 33 men had met on a mountain meadow and vowed to fight together against their tyrants. Then, just before they went to bed, the girls would plead with their mother to tell them how she, their Uncle Rudy, and their own father watched the signal fires burn and heard the bells toll on that now distant dawn of 1291. And it so happened, since children everywhere liked the same stories, that other people told the children the story of William and Walter Tell. It spread from one person to another. Before long, in the other lands learned too of the great bowmen of Uri. Years passed, centuries passed. These old stories were told by father to sons, by mothers to daughters, and now today the story of William Tell is the story of one man's revolt against tyranny. It is just as true now as it was in those old days of the 13th century, the story of the apple and the arrow. Okay, guys, so that's the end of the book, okay? So I hope you guys have a wonderful summer. And we loved having you guys in our class. Miss Mary and I had a wonderful, blessed year with you guys. We love all of you guys, and we will see you guys next year at co-op. Some of you may be in our next class. I'm pretty sure at least a few of you guys are. We're looking forward to that, but we love all you guys, and we hope you guys have a wonderful summer. All right, guys. Blessings. Blessings. Goodbye.